Hello students, welcome to the class. Today we are going to discuss simple and compound statements. So these are the two statements very important for your exam. It comes in different way, like fill in the blanks also it is seen, choose the correct and maximum times difference between simple and compound statement. You will get a questions from exercise also. Already I have shared in your group. You can see the difference between simple and compound statement. So here we have to see what is simple statement and what is compound statement. Very easy to understand. Let's see. Here you can see only the statements which are written in a single line. That means statements are written in a single line are called simple statements. Okay. Statements doesn't mean that maximum times I have observed that students they think that statements means only the document dot write, this is called statement. No, in your program all the lines that you are writing, these are called statements. Okay, so every lines are statements. So if that statements are written in separate lines, then these statements are called simple statement. Like that, but when one completed, then two, then three, then four, five, six, in that way it will go. If you have seen the compound statement, when it comes, if multiple statements are written and these are blocked using braces, okay, it is blocked in a braces, that times it will be known as your compound statements. You will get the difference while doing the program when we can write simple statement and when we should write compound statements. Okay, so step by step that we will go for the further programs, you will understand better. So for time being, just to remember that the statements, if it is written in a single line, that is called simple statement. If multiple statements are grouped in a block within a process, that is called compound statement. Now let's come to the next topic of this chapter. It is types of if statement. Here you see if statement means if, here it is a keyword, that's why if it should be written in small letter always. Where it comes, whether it is in first or it is wherever it comes, that means if it is the first word also you should write in small letter, because it is a keyword, you have to write as it is. So these are the three statements, the three different types of if statement we can use. If else, if else if. These are the three statements we have. Okay, actually a programming can be written in three different forms. That means a program it has the different control, like sequential, one selection, another one is looping process. Okay, a particular program, depending on the situation, it can be written a sequential way, it can be written in selective way, or it can be in looping process. So looping it will be discussed in the next chapter, but sequential process already we have done, the programs already we have discussed. That means one statement completed, then the next statement will be executed, then next. That means whatever statements we have written, every statement will be executed once. But sometimes we need to skip some of the part of the program, some of the codes. So for that we have to go for the selective. So this selection process or selective programs, it will be found in every maximum software. So for example, if you see in shopping website like Flipkart, Amazon, wherever you go, so they have assigned some rules that if you have purchased this much, that much, then you will be getting this percent discount, that percent discount. Okay, so these are the condition how actually these are this condition how actually it is put using this if statement. Okay, so this if statement are very important while doing programming. So for example, again I am saying here, you see that while purchasing online you will have multiple options, like for paying bills. How will you pay? your amount with credit card, debit card, or internet banking, or cash delivery, or another options like UPI. So these are the different alternative way you have. Okay, you may choose any one. So after choosing that one, you will go for the further step, and these steps will be different. If you have chosen like internet banking, then your steps will be different. If you have chosen credit card, your steps will be different. So these are the actually made using if statement. If user has chosen this, then it will go for this. If user has chosen that, then it will go for this one. So in that way it goes. So this is the very important part of the if statement. Here it is used. Okay. So likewise, so here you see there are three types of if statement: if else, and if else if. Okay. If you have only one route, that means only one selection you have, there is no alternative selection, only one, then you can use for if. Let us see how can we use if statement. Simple if, this is the simple if statement. Okay, the syntax you can see. Syntax: if, then the condition you have to give, that what condition it lies on. Like that example I have given, that condition. So if your selection is credit card, if your selection is this, that equal to that. So this is the condition you have to put. Okay, so here the condition, if it falls, if it is true, then the statements will be executed. That by statements here it will be what, according to my example, that you need to go for pay the amount, and for that what are the steps are there. Here you have to go for the further steps one by one. If only one line, that it is simple statement. If it is multiple lines to be executed, that will be your compound statements. That's why I have given here, you can see, statement, or in bracket I have given S. That means a simple statement also it may be, or it may be compound statement. If it is simple statement, then these braces is not required. Remember, if you give braces also, there will be no error, but it is not look good like that. You can see that the examiner, whoever will check, he will understand that means you don't have the perfect knowledge about the simple and compound statement. So that's why when you write a simple statement under any condition, that means you no need to put any braces. Okay, if you have multiple statements, then you can give the braces. Okay, that is compound statement. Let us take an example to solve this one. So here I have given an example, a program. I would like to tell you that whatever the programs here we are discussing, you just pause the video and write in your note copy. Remember, write a JavaScript program to check whether an entered number, remember entered, you have to take input, that is already discussed, entered number is even or not. You have to check whether it is even or not. So as we know, what is the rule to check a number is even or not? So simply, as we know, if any number is divisible by 2, that means this number is even. So here you have to see any number, whenever we have to enter that one, and we have to check, is it divisible by 2? So to check the divisibility, we have to use the modulus operator. That one we have already discussed. The modulus operator gives the remainder. That means if any number after dividing by 2, if remainder becomes 0, that is your an even number, isn't it? So here you see, as you know how to start a program, HTML body, then script you have to write, and I have declared a variable here. That means the number whatever we want to enter. So n is a variable where the value of the n it is taken. Then here it is checked. You see, if n mod of 2 equal to 0, equal to does it means what? A relational operator, as you know, equal. Okay, relational operator. It compares the left side with the right side, and if it is true, then it will come output, as we know. It gives the result in the form of true or false. So here, if the value of n is, if you have given 8 mod of 2 equal to 0, now it will see 8 mod of 2, it is, what will be the remainder? 0. So 2 4 is 8, remainder is 0. Modulus operator we have used, that's why it will give the remainder. So 0 equal to 0, it is true. So your output will come, entered number is even. If you give like this, so let us take another example. Say 7 mod of 2 equal to 0. Here 7 mod of 2, remainder will become 1, 2 3 are 6, remainder 1 equal to 0, it is false. So if it is false, there will be no output. So there is a problem in this statement. That means if the condition becomes false, there is nothing to get as your output. So for that reason, we have to go for the next if statement, that is your if else statement. So else, here it is defined for the false part. If the condition becomes false, then your else part will be executed. Now the syntax you see, if condition, if it is true, this part, if it is false, that part. Okay, true false it is given, and remaining part is same that we have discussed in the previous if statement. So as we have discussed that if you have only one way to perform any task, then we can go for if. If you have to go for the two alternative ways, say if I cannot choose this one, then I have to go for this one. Okay, that is, you have to go for if or else. Okay, that means two alternative routes. Here the same program, here it is, we will discuss the write a JavaScript and JavaScript program to check whether an entered number is even or odd. Here it is given another thing to check whether it is odd or not. That means if it is false, the condition, if it becomes false, then it will be odd number. Let's see how. Here you see the same program. Here variable I have taken as a entered a number. So here the last bracket, it is not visible. It should be like this. Okay. So if a mod of 2 equal to 0, the similar concept. That means if the number a, if you have entered 7, so 7 mod of 2 equal to 0, it will become false. So if it is false, then a, as it is written outside of the quotation, so the a value will be 7. As we know, the variable value, if you want to display it, should be written outside of the quotation, remember. And plus is the concatenation with the message is odd. So your output will be 7 is odd. And another way, if you give say your entered number is 10, a value is 10, so 10 mod of 2 equal to 0. Now it will become true, because 10 mod of 2, remainder will become 0. 2 5s are 10, remainder 0. 0 equal to 0, so it is true. If it is true, in place of a, 10, and it will become is even with the concatenation. So this is the process to do this type of program. Now the next one, that sometimes we may have multiple routes. Here to already two, that I have given the example in Flipkart, that you have multiple routes to choose. You need to pay using this UPI, debit card, credit card, internet banking. There are multiple options you will find. Okay. While choosing the credit card also, there are another multiple options will appear. Which bank, in which bank you will choose. Okay, this bank, that bank. This is another option. So everywhere here it is given if else statement. So sometimes we have to follow the multiple if statements. If only two way, that means you need to choose this, either this or that. Then we can go for if else. Only one way, that is only one route you have, that is your if. Two, then if else. More than two, then you have to go for the another one, that is called if else if. Now see the syntax. Here I have given up to 3. It is not fixed up to 3. It may go up to beyond 3 according to the situation. So here the situation it is going on. If it is true, this, false, again it will check the condition, again false, again it will check the another condition. So this is the syntax it will go on. Remember the syntax here. This is the if else if statement. Okay, so one after another condition will be checked, one after another condition, one after another condition. If the first condition is not satisfied, it will go for the second one. Again, the second condition, if it is not satisfied, then third condition. If third condition is not satisfied, the fourth condition. In that way it will go on. Okay, so let us take an example to perform this statement. Here I have taken an example that write a JavaScript program to find the maximum among three numbers. Now here three, okay, three numbers. So according to the question, we have I have taken three variables A, B, C, and I have taken the input for each. For A, B, C, input taken, enter the first number, enter the second number, enter the third number. So after taking all the three numbers, here it is checked. If the first number is greater than second number and first number is greater than third number, here AND operator, it means both the conditions should be true. As we know, AND means what? AND operator always it gives the result true if both the conditions satisfied. Remember, we have discussed this thing. So if the value of A you have given 7 and B value you have given 5 and C value you have given 3, then the first condition will become true. That means 7 greater than 5 and 7 greater than greater than 3. That means if you have entered A equal to 7, B equal to 5 and C equal to 3, then this condition will true. If it is true, then you will get output as it is written outside of the quotation. So the value of A, 7, is maximum. Let us take it in another way. If the second number, if you give bigger, say A is 5, here I will put the next condition. Say A is 5 and B is 8, 5 greater than say 3. Now this condition, this is true. 5 greater than 3 it is true, but 5 greater than 8 it is false. So in case of AND operator, as we know, if any condition becomes false, output will become false. So this is false. If it is false, then it will come for the next comparison. Now here B means what? 8. B means 8. 8 greater than 5 and 8 greater than 3. Now both the condition is true. If it is true, B is maximum. So in that way you have to check for each number. If you give entered any number, then you will get the output according to your input. Now one thing is you see, if you have entered C as your maximum number, A you have given 5, say A 5, B 10 and C say 100. So first condition also will be false, second also will be false, and third time we need to check. That means no need to check for the condition whether C is greater than A and C is greater than B or not, because it will become by default. Why? Because you can see the first condition it is for A and second condition it is for B. So it is seen that both the condition become false. That means A is also not greater number, B is also not greater number. So among three numbers, if it is A is not greater, B is not greater, then ultimately C will be the greater number. That's why the if statement is not written in the last part, only else, remember. So this is about three if else if statements. Here you have to practice all the programs. If you have computer at your home, you need to do practice and write the programs in your copy. Now here we will find the difficulties. You can see problem it is there, because if you have multiple routes, means 2, 3, 4, okay, we can go for if else. If you have multiple routes like 10, 15, 20, then it is the programming code will become very lengthy. So to reduce the programming length and to reduce the complexity, we can use another statement, that is your switch statement. So switch statement, the next statement you'll find this is switch. So it is the replacement of if else if more alternative comes, okay, then we can go for the switch statement. Remember, switch also should be written in small letter because it is a keyword. So this is the syntax. You can see the syntax here, it is given. Switch, whatever switch means, example, let us take an example how this switch works. For example, you are sitting in a hall, okay. In this hall you have seen that 100 numbers of fans are there, ceiling fans. Now you need to switch on the 50 number fans. 50th number fan you need to switch on, but you don't know which switch is belong to this fan. What you will do? One by one switch you will test. This one it is not working, that one not working, this one not working. In that way you will keep going on until you reach the 50 number fan. Okay, so it is a lengthy process. This is about your if else if statement. That is, you are checking. This is not, this is not, this is not. You are going and checking. Okay, so we can reduce the complexity of the program like this. If the switch on the switchboard, if it is written fan number 5, on the fan also it is 5 written. Fan number 10, switch number 10, and on the fan also it is written 10. Then any user, without knowing, he directly can switch on any number of fan. Okay, any number. That means 50 number fan I want to switch on directly. Which one is 50 number? Oh, this was 50. So directly he can start a fan, switch on a fan. So this is about your switch statement. Here you can see this is the switch number, means which part you want to execute, and according to this number you have to write the case 1, case 2, like fan 1, fan 2, fan 3 that I have given the example. Here these are the values are constant, always fixed. It cannot be changed. These are not the variable. How it is fixed? This program about switch statement we'll discuss when school will resume, because here we cannot. It will be very difficult to make you understand. So that time it will be very easy for you to understand. In the school, I will discuss with practical these things. Just you need to understand what is how this switch it works. Let us see. These always constant. These are always constant. Okay, the structure is just to remember. So after case level, you need to give one colon here. You very carefully check the syntax. And after case level, there is a break. Now what is the use of break? Also we have to discuss. In that way, case 1, case 2, case 3, that means constant 1. In that way, it will keep going on. How many case you want to add, you can write. After, at the end, you have to write another one. This is called default, and this is not mandatory that you must write. Without default also a switch can execute. Remember, this question also it comes in your exam. Can we execute switch without default? Yes, default it can be. Now here default it means like your if else part. If the condition is not satisfied, it goes for the else. So in the similar way, default also here executes. If the switch number, that means the value is not matching with any constant. Say here I have given 3 keys, and here the expression value I have given 4. So it is not matching. So the default block will execute. 4, 5, 6, that other than 1, 2, 3, any value if you give, that the default block will execute. Okay. So some example let us discuss here. Here. The switch here it is given X, and case 1, case 2, case 3. Here 1, 2, 3 are constant, remember. Say document.write1, document.write2, and every after document.write1 break is placed, and default also given. Here if the input if you have given for X is 1, then X is 1, only you will get the output 1. The remaining part will be not executed, because after 1 it will reach break. So when it will get break, it will come out from the switch. Remaining part will be not executed, like if else if it keep going on. Okay. So this is the benefit of using switch, to reduce the running time. So in the similar way, if you give the value X is 2, so it will go for the first check. Say X is 2, case 1 will not execute directly, case 2. So the output will be 2, here I have not given one, I have skipped here. If you have given 3, then 3 will come your output, and when it will reach break, it will come out. If you give any other value other than 1, 2, 3, like I have given 5, then default block will execute like that, not matched. The default value, whatever you have written with the default part, it will be executed. Now see, without break also a switch can be executed. Let's see without break how it can be written. It comes in your exam sometimes. Here you see switch statement without break. Say here I have given P. Okay. Here break is not mentioned. Here also there is no break. Okay. At the end here I have given a break. Case 3. If one input, if you have given 1, so it will display 1. As there is no break, it will keep going to execute the next case also. That means you will get output 2. Here also there is no break, so it will go for the third case also. Output is 3. So that's why 1 to 3 will get the output. Break is not there, that's why it will go on for the next case also. Remember. If it is the value of P is 2, then 2, 3 directly case level 2 will execute 2. Then there is no break, so it will come for the next case 3. Then it will reach break to come out from the switch block. So in that way it executes switch statement. Okay. So up to this much this chapter is completed. Okay. So I hope you have understood everything. If you don't have, if you have any doubt, you may ask. Okay. Due to my fever, I could not take your class regularly. I hope this week I can take your classes, inshallah. Okay. So further assignments, I'll give some assignments to you. You have to solve these assignments. So for today, we can stop this class. Bye bye.